Okay, so we've got a lovely cloudy misty mountain scene. I'm going to show you a little bit more on mist. So this is off Renee, and we're going to have a go at this lovely scene. So I have a little bit of Saunders waterford paper. It's a no draw one, 5 by 7 inches, and we're going to come in. I have got 3 brushes, a round number 10, a round number 6 and a number 2 rigger, and my trusty Cotman palette. So the first thing I'm going to do is come halfway down, well, it's a little bit more than halfway down, with some water. I have spritzed my colours because I've not used them for a couple of days, so we're just with a little water spray. I want to make sure that this paper is coated nice and evenly, no puddles and no dry bits. And the colour I'm going to come on with first of all is some cerulean blue. So you will see I'm using my round number 10 and a circular motion. You'll see that I'm dipping in and pushing down. That pushing and circular motion is controlling the paint. So I'm getting this lovely cloudy effect on to start with. So that was cerulean blue. Rinse my brush out. I'm going to come into some ultramarine blue. So these are the colours that I have. I'm going to make a bit of a grey and a little bit of burnt sienna. You can have these mixed up ready. You don't have to. I'm quite quick, so I can do this at the same time. So I've got this lovely little bit of grey here. I'm going to come in, circular motion again. Just start to pop this grey on. Can you see how it's staying put? So this is helpful because the ultramarine is granulating. It's not too staining and it pretty much stays put. You get shooty pigments, like something like phthalo blue would be quite shooty. So something like Payne's Grey, because that's made with phthalo blue, would be quite shooty. So we're using ones that aren't shooty and aren't too staining to help with this effect. I'm going to swap down now to my number 6 and I'm going to come into that grey. And so my waterline comes right the way down, but what I want to start to do is create those very distant mountains, but they're going to be wet. They're going to come into the wetty and wet. So you're going to start to get instantly a bit of a misty feel on those tops of those mountains. I just rinse my brush, check it's nice and clean. Take a little bit of water on and I'm just coming along that bottom edge. This is because I don't want that hard edge to be there. This is giving us a softer edge of those mountains. I'm just making sure I'm taking that in, and that's just making sure it's got a nice soft edge. So I'm going to do a little bit of lifting out later, which will show you how you can create that mist. This is helpful because it's the start of the mist, with it being nice and soft. So if I've cleaned that brush, I've dried it off. And what I can start to do is this is basically with a damp, not wet, nearly dry brush, I can lift a little bit out. So I'm starting to get that cloudy, misty effect happening just with my brush and a little bit of lifting out. Bring some of that here. You see I've lifted through, so I'm starting to lift through that mountain's edge. Okay, I'm going to dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. What I'm going to do now is wet this bottom section. So this is my round number 10 again. I want no dry bits, no puddles. I'm going to bring it up to here. Now I'm going to come in with my round number 6. And what I'm going to do is create this next mountain edge. So the water's to here, and I'm coming into that water, but I'm also taking a little bit on to dry so that I'm getting that sharper defined edge. And this is that second mountain, so that instantly makes that other mountain look quite misty in the background. And because we've softened that in, this is that same grey mix. Just going to bring that down following the line of the land. I'm not going to come all the way across here because I've got a tree that's going to come over there. So I'm forward thinking and forward planning. I'm going to take a little bit of lemon yellow in. Start to bring that through. And then I'm going to come into a little bit of sap green. And start to bring that through as well. This can form part of a base. And as you come fresher at the front, you're going to get that sense of distance happening. So this is Viridium. So this is quite a vibrant green, and I'm going to come into some, this is burnt umber. I'm going to make this green nice and dark. So it's going to make it much more natural looking, and then I can start to come in just with the tip of the brush. I'm still on my round number 10. Can start to create some of these trees this side. So this is nicely into the wet still. Now I'm just going to pop a few bits through here. Pick up my round number 6. Just take a little bit more, and I'm just going to spread this around. This will give me a base for this bigger tree here. What I need to think is this connecting line here. So if I take a little bit more of the yellow, this is just that lemon yellow, and just bring that through. That's just going to blend that through nicely. With that Viridian colour, which was Viridian and burnt umber, that nice dark. And what I'm doing now is I'm waiting for this to just dry a little bit. It doesn't want to dry a lot, but I'd like to put a little bit more definition into these trees. This is with my number 6. A little bit more definition there. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. I've got plenty of this dark green now, and with my number 6, just going to put a little bit of definition. There's a little bit of a wiggle. Onto these bigger conifer or pine trees. So we've got the softness behind. This is giving us a little bit more detail, left to right. If I take my rigger, I can make them a little bit more defined. The trick with this is to move fairly quickly and keep your brush quite loaded. And pop in another one here. So I'm now using the rigger to do them because they're a bit finer. Wiggle left to right. It's a little bit of a zigzag. They won't all be individual, you get ones that overlap. Just putting a few in. This all helps with the misty feel because you've got the sense of definition there with those ones. Okay, so on this side, I've loaded my brush up. I'm going to use the flat of the brush. This is dry brushing, so I'm going to hold the brush like this and then use the flat. So this is going to get us a really nice texture, and then we're going to fill in some of the dots nice and quickly. So if then I come in and we're going to dab through and fill in some of these dots. So it's a bit of both, a bit of dabbing and a bit of dry brushing. And you just need to work really, really quickly so that it doesn't dry whilst you're popping that in. It's a nice random way to do that. If I just dip into the burnt umber, I can bring a little bit of that in whilst that's still wet, and it gives a bit of different tone on this side. Even a little bit of the ultramarine would work quite nicely, just dipped within there. Okay. So what we've got to think about now is how we do our misty. We've got a little bit of misty and we can make a little bit more. So I'm going to get a little bit of clean kitchen towel and my round number 10, and I've wet there, and I'm going to bring some mist across. So we started with some mist here, and if I bring it across here, so I'm basically just wetting the paper and agitating the surface a little bit, and I can do the same here. Be careful of where you've popped that green on. You don't want to touch that if it's still wet. If you give it a few seconds and then you can just dab off, you can see that mist forming. And it's just softening in those lines just a little bit. And if you choose the right paint when you're doing this, it makes it nice and easy. So the ultramarine isn't too staining and it lifts off nice and easily. I'll do a little bit there. A little bit more there. If I want to add a little bit of definition with my round number 6, I want to add a little bit more definition to these mountains in the background, I can just come in, just add a little bit of a line. I'm not going all the way up, just a nice softness, and then with a clean wet brush I'm going to touch at the bottom so that I've just got a little bit more definition there. Not a huge amount, but just that little bit more, and it helps to create that edge. I'm just going to dab through that one again. So you've got that lovely misty feel. So I'll dry this one off. So do find my Facebook group. The link to the Facebook group is in the description. You can pop your results on and I can give you some personalised feedback. So that's worked really well, and it's just showing you how easy it is to create misty using the lifting and creating that freshness and detail in the foreground. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share, and I shall see you next time. Bye.